Hey, RC Adventurous, how are you today? It's Medic, of course, in the RC Spark studio. Where else would I be for doing the show? Actually, several places I could be because I go everywhere to do the show. But at the same time, today I'm in the studio and I have a filthy workbench. This is actually what my workbench looks like when I'm working and preparing for the show. And today I was actually just kind of working on my rig and I wasn't even thinking about turning on the camera. And I thought, well, maybe if I'm just kind of hanging out in the studio, I should turn on the camera. Because I know a lot of you folks out there like to work on your rigs while I'm working on mine. And you kind of want an update on what's going on while I'm getting ready for the upcoming season. So I turned around, flipped on the camera, and here we are. Dirty workbench means I've been working. You guys recognize this old boy. This is the Beast from Pinky and the Beast. This old Blazer body has been through, well, do I say hell and back? I would. We can have a look at this. There's a few things about this body. Check that out. That's all the paint that is chipped away over the years because I was a fool and used the wrong kind of paint when I started off. Remember, there's only certain types of paint that will stick to Lexan without some sort of clear coat first or a prep coat. Usually I use Tamiya brand stuff, but if you don't use the right kind, it will start to chip off on the inside. That is exactly what you're seeing. Now this is a bonus and a downfall because if you're a scaler, and you like doing your scale stuff, you can actually take a paintbrush and start painting in like an orange rust color, browns and disgusting stuff. And I'm probably going to do that with this body. Okay? Make it look kind of old because this is a bit of a classic as well. I've had it in quite a few of my videos that have been seen hundreds of thousands of times. So this will go up on the famous body wall where I hang all the bodies. And I'll make sure to restore this at a later time. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the rig itself. Now this has a brushed 9-turn motor in it. 9-turn, that means I got a lot of parts falling off the truck. That's why I've been working on it. Brushed 9-turn from Mad Scientist. They don't actually exist anymore, guys, so I can't really give you a link to a brushed 9-turn. I've only got a few myself. But you'll see here, why is it covered up? It's like a nylon. We have questions about that. I cover it up in old nylons because it keeps mud from getting in through the fins, like big particles to get into the brushes. That's a secret of mine, actually. An old toe tip out of some nylons or whatever will help protect the motor. Thanks, Jam. And don't tell her I took it though. I could just see her putting on nylons in the morning with no toe on the end going, what the anyway. So I've got this in there. It helps keep the brushes clear from debris, most of it anyway, and helps the motor run underwater, right, without getting crap in the brushes. The one thing that I've done here that you guys may or may not know is I've replaced all the bearings with sealed bearings. Also had them in marine grease, forced some grease through there, blah, 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 again, in the waterproofing videos. The one thing I really wanted to show you about this rig, apart from the main event that I'll get to in a second, is these new tires. Now, I'll show them to you quick here. Do I have my other ones around? I do not. I was actually running paddle tires on this. Do you remember the 2.2 sand paws from Proline? Everyone's like, why are you running those? They're terrible, you know, because it makes good film. I don't need all my trucks looking the same or winning every competition when I'm a videographer. I want to make good film for you guys, right? So I try out different brands and styles and stuff. But in the sand, for sand paws, mud, pebbles, rocks, they're great tires. But on the hard surface, not so much. I would kind of like to make this into a stream truck. Like a river truck, not a huge river because it'll just float away, which I've had happen a few times. This I'd like to actually have more of a scale truck in the river, in the stream, so when I'm filming it can really look gnarly while it's going through all the extremes of being off-road in the water and on the trail. So, there's something I did. Over the years, I've had many tires. Tires come with a type of foam on the inside. I keep looking around to see if I had some props, and if I would have been a little bit more prepared for this video, I would have had some around, but I don't. But, here's an older motor I have, and I just put that off to the side. The same kind of foam, as we all know, comes in tires. Well, foam in tires and water don't make a good mix because the water gets into the tire, makes it all off balance, and your truck starts to do one of these as the wheel is rotating, right? That sucks. So, I've experimented with a few different ideas, and people have done this. I'm not the first to do it, so I'm not trying to take credit at all. But these, my friends, are 1.9 RC four-wheel drive Mickey Thompsons, okay? 1.9s. They look like 2.2s, but the diameter is actually still a 1.9. But check this out. Yeah, that's right. You're not hearing anything. But when it sits flat, it's flat. Oh, check that out. Because I sealed it with air only. Okay? I didn't want to have foams in there. So I took a bead lock. You can see bead lock around the inside. I bought these brand new. They used to come stock with the old Axial trucks. They don't anymore. Maybe they do in the kits. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. I went out, bought some new Axial rims. These are 1.9s. As I mentioned, I have 2.2s as well. And I used silicone, and I took the tire, I washed it completely so the bead was clear, dry, no dust, no nothing in there. And I actually used just normal, clear, weatherproofing silicone. Just looking off to the side. I should show you, actually. Hold on a sec. I'm off in the studio! Trying to be a little bit more prepared for you, but I'm not, so I'm just using this right here. All-purpose, 100% silicone, real simple. Because it focus? No, but you get the idea. It's silicone, okay? Clear stuff. Satisfaction guaranteed, indoor, outdoor use. Outstanding adhesion, right? So I went down there, $3. All I did, if this was my rim or the tire, same thing, I just filled in the bead lock, okay? Put the tire in there, it was a little mushy. No big deal though for an adventurer like me. Until I took an arrow to the knee, sorry, I had to put that in there. And I sealed it on there. I used a drill, a low torque setting, just to seal the beads on one side. Then what I did was, ensuring that that was sealed and that there was nothing there, I also did it to this side, which left me with quite a bit of air pressure in there. Now, I don't want a ton of air pressure in there. Here's the difference if you don't seal it. This big bugger you've seen me use before, okay, recently actually, well, it depends on when you've been watching videos or when this video is being viewed. This one I did not seal, and this one was strictly for trail rock crawling. So I wanted flat tires, man. I want flat tires where it can really bite. See that? Quite a bit of flatness to it, on purpose. I didn't seal these, I just used the beadlock rims. Now, that's good and bad. On the trails, or if it's cold, it really doesn't hold its, like it will hold its form like that, which kind of makes it lopsided. But when it's warm outside, and because I have different trucks for different seasons and doing different things, when it goes over the rocks, it is really clawing, right? It's got a clawing action to it, both front and rear. This time, let's put this back over here. This time, I wanted it more to still have the flex, but at the same time I wanted it to be sealed so I didn't get any water in it. Now yes, we can be wondering about, isn't it going to float, Medic? Well, of course it's going to float. Anything floats, really, if there's enough water. But at the same time, I have enough weight to the truck, especially in the front end, that going and traversing up a stream, anything like that, is totally going to be helping me, right? It's not going to be a big deal at all. And in fact, I still have that tire bite and bounce. So when I'm coming down, it's not going to just simply sag into the ground. It's going to give me some resistance. Not saying that this is what you should do with every single tire on your trail trucks. Not it at all. But like I mentioned, since I have a few different trucks, I like to experiment. This is one of the things that I absolutely love. Air-filled tires. In fact, Junfact.com, I think, has an air filling kit with a nipple on it, and you can actually fill up your tires. I haven't used them. They're a tube design. I haven't used them. They've been out for years. I have no experience with them, but they look pretty cool. Same time, I could just go ahead and take a hypodermic needle and fill this full of air, put a little bit of glue on it, and I would have the same air pressure that I would always want, right? No big deal. So I'll wrap up this video with a few more minutes of chat, because I know that you guys looking at this, you're gonna be like, what's the shocks on there? You know, I'm actually running these in complete droop mode. All they have is some oil in there. What kind of oil? I have this oil, 15, right? Really liquidy. Really, the consistency is like almost like water, but you'll see it has some resistance to it, right? So the extension on these Integy big bore shocks that I've had for years, I have a few sets of them. Only real thing by Integy that I love. These shocks are great. And hard to find. I think they're $70 for 4. So if you want them, you really gotta want them. Hitec Servo, been Plastidip 645 mg, cheap $35 servo, plus it has marine grease around the horn. You'll see up front that I do have the aluminum links and the aluminum C-hubs in there for strength, especially when I'm turning. Got an FXR ESC in here because of the very small footprint that it has. It fits in there with a BEC very nicely. Enough power to run my servo and my 9-turn brushed motor, piece of cake. 2-cell 6500 milliamp hour Lipo in there, runs for about an hour and a half. I love that, right? Really low output in these trucks, especially when you're trail crawling. And really, in a nutshell, that's it. And how much does this truck weigh? Barely anything. I'm gonna have to go out and say maybe 3 pounds. 3 pounds, if that. Got a bumper, got some other stuff. You'll see it coming up. There's one thing I know that you'd like to see. This, yes, this is a Proline Jeep body, okay? You can see my buddy Crazy Joe from Rude Boys has one of these actually. Proline, racing.com. I got this at pmhobbycraft.ca. But I went ahead, I painted it, I did the whole thing. This was just like a whole solid piece, okay? I went ahead, painted it black with a tint in the window. You can't see it right now, kind of right there you can. But this is going to be the new body for the Beast, okay? Decals by my boy Jeff down at XXXmain.com, XXXmain.com, another godfather of RC videos. In fact, one of the first huge decal or decal makers, US and Canada. And got some great custom stuff, t-shirts, DVDs, the whole deal, right? So you can check that out. The thing I did in the back with the drop box, because this was a solid box, didn't come with a roll cage, is, look at that. This is the original Honcho I built. In fact, that's the original rig that I have for the monster truck SCX10 build video series I did a few years ago. Notice this back cage part, okay? Simply bolted onto the front right here. A couple of bolts on the inside. It's filthy, I know, but that's what you get with age, worn out. I took that piece and I basically cut it off. I used a Dremel tool, which is a cutting tool with a diamond bit, spinning diamond bit, to make very straight cuts along the box and to cut the inside plastic shell out. I don't have it with me, I threw it away already. The inside shell I cut away. Yeah, right there, the box you can see. It's a little sagged there. I'll have to loosen that off and put a spacer in there. You'll see that I cut it right out and I fit this perfectly inside. So now I have a roll cage in the back, right? Tire, gas tank, all that neat stuff. So this as a whole package, kind of cut out the notch because I've got an 8-scale winch going in there. 8-scale winch, yep, right here. This can lift up to 1 kilogram, 1 kilo. This is a 8 scale, this is a 10th scale. Look at the size difference, okay? Why am I using an 8 scale on my rig? Why not? Because it looks pretty badass. This 8 scale is good. Lifts, I think, the same amount. Runs on a brushed motor. But this big fella for the beast is definitely going to be something I want to use. Custom made chains. You know, these are pretty easy to make, you guys. I also have a how to make your own chains. Make RC chains cheap, I think it was called, or something like that. So that's going to be hooked onto the front. I'm trying to use my boy Rude Boy's Crazy Joe's custom bumper because it is steel. Yeah, I'd like a steel bumper on the front of this truck. I'm going to have to cut some light holes in there, some buckets in there, but I think it's going to look pretty awesome on this rig. If you want to know how to make a bumper, you can check out RC Adventures Rude Boy Fabricates a Bumper. There is a video for that too. You can see Joe welding that bumper together. We've done a lot of videos. Anyway, so I'll wrap up the video. Try to put this on the top for you so you can see what it looks like at least from the side. Well, without the red wire, of course. That's the battery cable. But not bad. I needed a new character. I wanted something new for RC Adventures. And there you go, my friends. So I hope you have enjoyed today's RC adventure. And to everybody out there that's been tuning in, thank you for subscribing or liking or commenting or whatever. And it means a lot. I appreciate it. And if you guys want to go and hang out with some other RC adventurists or RC addicts, you can always hit up my website at rcsparks.com and join in the forums there. There's lots for you to look at, play, and talk to other folks about the hobby you love. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time.